I'm not sure why, when I viewed yesterday's video, it was so jerky. I don't know if it's my camera, or if it was the uploading, or if it's YouTube. I don't know. I'm sorry. I hope that that does not continue to be a problem. So anyway, the camera. That's what I meant by that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. This is the 128th day, first video. On a personal note, I'll tell you that yesterday I went into the school where I used to teach. It was the afternoon program, and it was so pleasant to have real, live students there again. Some of them misbehaving, some of them having that light appear. It was fun. You probably will hear more about that later on. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. We're going to finish the Middle Ages today, I guess. I go along fast. This is not a history class. I don't cover everything. But there are a few more things I want to mention, and I don't... Oh, well, I want a little bit of show and tell first. Sorry, I forgot. I was looking for another book, and I found this one. I told you about David Macaulay, and he first wrote a book, Cathedral, a very good artist he is, but then it was made into an animated series, and that's the one that I really thought that you would do better to look at. But he also did a similar book called, oh, and on this side you can see the top of Flying Buttresses put there with turrets on top to give them further weight. So I thought I'd show you that. He also did a similar book on castles and others as well, on I think a Roman villa, I think. So I wanted to show you that. And I also wanted to show you this. You know, when I was talking about timber framing, I think possibly the most perfect building that I have ever actually seen is in France, in Beaune, France. And I've been there twice. Last June I went there, and this time I went inside because I really wanted to see that inside. And the courtyard looks like that. It's called the Hôtel Dieu. It was a medieval hospital. And you know, I bought the guidebook. Inside, most of what you see, which is so incredibly spectacular, is the roof. Those are tiles. Those are enameled tiles. But underneath the roof, and in the dormers they're called, you can see timber framing with the white infill. Absolutely perfect construction of that kind. So I wanted to share that. All right, now I was going to say that I explained about the movable typeface and yesterday briefly, and how it changed so much. Well, there was also something lost. You know, mostly people think, oh, the printing press. That's so wonderful because books are, you can have books now. Yes, it is wonderful. But there was an art basically that was lost. When books were made by hand, copied by hand, those copyists, some of them were incredibly skilled. And you can see this if you will go to Google Images. You know, just Google something, but don't do the web. I mean, you have to click on Images. And then if you put in Book of Hours or Illuminated Manuscripts and see what comes up and take a closer look, you know, enlarge it, you'll get to see this amazing artwork. I think I will try to give another name that you can find more. Here's a personal story too. The first time, I think maybe the only time I was ever at the British Museum, I found a Flemish calendar from that time, and also a series of illustrations no bigger than this of the what peasants were doing in each month of the year. Well, as I left, or before I left, I went to the gift shop, and there you could buy as postcards those very images. And it was the actual size that those things were painted. I love to show students these. At the moment, I don't know where they are. They may be upstairs in the barn. I'll try to show you. But in the meantime, if you would Google these two things, you'll see the kind of art that I mean. Spectacular. Especially if you keep in mind how old they are, how brilliant the colors still are, and how small they often were. And I've got the word marginalia there because I haven't said that much about the notes for this class, but if you really do take this course, you need to be keeping a set of notes. And ultimately, I'll tell you more about that. When I taught public school, I always made my students keep notes. Some resisted. They didn't want to bother. And that was odd because they learned stuff, and I still gave them a bad grade because there were no notes. I wanted them to keep a record. Well, on the other hand, I had many students who not only kept beautiful notes, they also, in the margin of the notes, since they were artists and their minds were working faster than my class, they doodled. They made pretty little stuff. And I encouraged that. I said, yes, do that. And I would like to show them a book of hours and show that back in the day when books were done by hand, they didn't only do the writing, they also filled these pages with beautiful art. It's a very fine art. I find myself thinking of last year I had a student named Hannah, and her notes were simply gorgeous. She might have been willing to give them to me, but I said no way, because they were just too valuable. And I made the kids use pen. So, and I gave them good paper, so that would keep. I may or may not come back to that, but marginalia refers to what's in the margin around something. The day the universe changed. Now, about the printing press, movable type, and the Protestant Reformation, Martin Luther, I very much want you to do this. It's on YouTube. All you have to do is type the information in and go there and look. The day the universe changed, James Burke is the man who so wonderfully did this. And I thought, at first I thought, I'll just let my viewers find the part I'm talking about, because it is all so entertaining and so good. I've watched the entire series many times. But if you'll go on to write in a matter of fact, and then printing, change the world, or something like that, and you do this on YouTube, there you will find let me say a 10-minute video that I would really like you to watch. It starts around the 19th minute 30th second, when a man is pouring, or somebody is pouring hot metal into a mold, and then it goes on to talk about Martin Luther. That's what I'd like you to do today, and that will take some time. And so as far as my video is concerned, I think that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we'll start the Renaissance.